Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, May 24th through Monday, May 31st. And happy Memorial Day and happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone in the States. This is our official beginning of summer. So, I would like to take this opportunity to remind you to subscribe to my channel. Check out my Ask Me a Question in the description below there. There's a link. And there's also a link to my website if you would like to have your personal chart done, and also check out my monthly forecast. So this week, actually, there's only a few aspects, major aspects, let's see here. First of all, there's a full moon lunar eclipse on May 26th in the sign of Sagittarius. And that is actually covered in your monthly forecast, but I will just add now to refresh your memories. So I know some people don't want to go back and listen to that again. But anyway, the difference with this full moon is it's a lunar eclipse, which adds a lot of impact, a lot of energy to whatever may occur around that time. Usually a full moon, the effects of it last like a few days. You can feel it maybe a few days before, during, or a few days after. But because there's an eclipse involved, even a solar eclipse does this, okay? The effects sometimes last for months. So that's just something to keep in mind. Mercury, too, is in Gemini, where it belongs. That's the ruling planet for Gemini, so it does really well there. But it is turning retrograde on the 29th. So far, the aspects for this week are Thursday, May 27th, we've got Venus in Gemini, square Neptune in Pisces. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini conjuncts Venus in Gemini. And on, let's see, Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. So, we'll just begin right here for Aries. On Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 3rd house squares Neptune transiting in your 12th house of Pisces. Very nice transit. It's just a square and it's from Venus, so those are never really very bad. It's just that, you know, where you have Neptune transiting in your 12th house of the subconscious, unconscious mind, whatever. It's part of the mind that you're aware of, but it's not like daily in your life, okay? It usually kicks in when you dream or whatever. But this is also the house of secrets and actions taken by you or someone else behind the scenes. You may discover that either you have feelings for someone, let's say in your group of friends, or you could find out that they have feelings for you or something like that. Or you could even, in like the 3rd house where Venus is right now in Gemini is a big house of communication. And Mercury's here and it's about ready to go retrograde anyways. You could have some kind of conversation with someone over the phone, via email, in a chat, whatever, online, or just like in person or whatever. That it's just not, it just doesn't seem real to you, or it's not like it's a lie. It's hard to believe or something. So you could think somebody's kind of like pulling your leg or whatever. But it could even be in regards to romance, about someone being interested in you, or someone accusing you of being interested in someone else. And this is like romantically, kind of. It could be for friendship, but, you know, it's just one of those kind of days where maybe you don't need to really take to heart anything anyone says to you, especially if they pay attention to you, or if you pay attention to someone else. That's kind of like maybe what this might be, where someone misinterprets your attention and thinks that you, you know, have the hots for them or something like that. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 3rd house conjuncts Venus in Gemini in your 3rd house. And very nice transit, especially for any kind of communication. Mercury conjunct Venus means that you're just into speaking about anything that's pleasant. You can't be bothered to have a conversation about anything that's not just unpleasant, but like serious. You're in the mood to have just like very lighthearted kind of conversations, or even do anything on this day. The third house is your immediate area, your neighborhood, your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins. It's where you would normally go throughout the course of a day, especially if you go to like shopping or something like that in your area. So it's kind of like a pretty pleasant day. You'll have a lot of pleasant exchanges with people throughout the normal course of your day. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 4th house, trines Neptune transiting in your 12th house of Pisces. Having Mars in your 4th house of your home life, your actual home where you live and the property surrounding it. It's your past and your childhood, but it's your family and your personal life. It's the people you live with. Having Mars here makes you very energetic in doing anything within your home, especially doing some kind of renovations even. Mars, it gives you lots of energy in this area, so if at any other time you weren't feeling like tackling something that actually really needed done within your home, this would be the time that you would be doing that. However, as far as your personal life goes or your family life goes, very nice trine to, again, your 12th house where you have Neptune, just means that you may have, you could have a secret conversation with a family member, or you could make some kind of discovery even in regards to your home or someone you live with. But it's good. It's not something that's alarming. You could find out that someone has been actually doing something very nice for you, a family member that you were unaware of, maybe taking care of a bill or doing something that's in your favor, but they really didn't bring it to your attention. Okay. For Taurus, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 2nd house squares Neptune, transiting in Pisces in your 11th house of sociability. Your friends, acquaintances, the people you hang out with, your group of friends, and places where you would normally go to hang out. It's any kind of organization that you belong to. It's also your house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So having Neptune here, and actually Jupiter's also here right now, so very briefly you'll have an opportunity to meet some pretty nice people during socializing. If you're not going out in public, if you're still online, some way or other, there are people coming into your life. A lot of times, though, you may have your hopes set on meeting someone that you've always wanted to meet. A friend could introduce you to someone that they know that, there's this big build-up about them. So you have this vision of them in your mind of what kind of person they are. And sometimes when you finally meet them, they're not what you thought they would be. There was this, like, again, a huge build-up, and it was a little bit of a letdown when you finally met them, or anything at this time. This 11th house of dreams, hopes, and wishes, okay? Also meaning that maybe this person, you needed their friendship in some way or other to help you reach some kind of goal. And now you find out that maybe you could have, like, just done it on your own. You really didn't need their cooperation. The square is coming from your 2nd house of how you earn your money. It's a money house. So maybe you're finding out that even, some of the things that you wanted to do, now that possibly you are going out, you really don't feel like spending money on it. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 2nd house conjuncts Venus, also in Gemini in your 2nd house of money and values, your personal values, but also your valuables, things that you own, your possessions. If you have any kind of investment in anything, it might possibly increase at this time, or someone could be giving you a belated birthday gift. you're on the receiving end. As long as Venus is in your second house, it attracts things to you. And this being the second house, you are the natural ruler of the second house. You love your possessions. You are a hoarder in some ways or other. Too many things, you know. You may be one of these collectible kind of people that you collect a lot of valuable things, and right now you could find out that they are increasing in value, or again, you could be on the receiving end of something that you really, really wanted. Okay, it could add to your collection. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 3rd house trines Neptune, transiting in your 11th house of Pisces. So this is a nice trine to, again, your friends, your acquaintances, any kind of group that you hang out in, and any place where you would go to socialize. The 3rd house, where you have Mars right now, is big communication house. Natural ruler here is Gemini, and the natural ruling planet is Mercury. So having Mars here, though, brings an awful lot of energy wherever Mars is transiting. It makes you very enthusiastic about that area of your life. So you may be really wanting to get to know people, wanting to meet new people. This helps you to do that, especially if it's, you know, your 3rd house is your own local area. So there could be something even going on within your area, or just your town or something like that that's happening. Some kind of yearly event even, or just some kind of get-together with a group of people. Your friends, but also new people coming into your life. So this could be one of those days where you attend something like this. Like here in America, it's Memorial Day, so most people are off on this day, and they usually barbecue or a picnic or whatever. So it seems like it's probably something like that. For Gemini, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in your 1st house in Gemini squares Neptune transiting in your 10th house of Pisces. And this is not a bad transit at all, especially for you. Having Venus in your 1st house really draws very good things to you at this time, things that you need. And if your 10th house, where you have Neptune and even Jupiter transiting right now, is your house of your career, your social and professional status, how people know you by a reputation in both your professional or personal life. Jupiter here very briefly for the time being could bring an opportunity that just may come and go very quickly. In regards to your career, you could have a chance at something that, you know, a new position of some kind, or just some expansion in your current career. Even if you don't work at all, there's still something going on with your public life. Your group of friends could even be actually expanding in this area as far as your public life or your career goes. You are meeting people that could be very beneficial to you in either area, professional or personal. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 1st house conjuncts Venus in your 1st house of Gemini. So this is really, really nice day for you. If it's your birthday or even around your birthday, you'd be getting an awful lot of birthday wishes, gifts. Venus does attract objects, luxury items even. You could be on the receiving end of some form of art or jewelry, or you know, just something or other that doesn't necessarily have to be Venus ruled. It's just that you are like the center of attention, and it could be more than likely because it's your birthday. But you would, even if it isn't on this day, you would still be the center of attention for some reason or other. But you're getting an awful lot of compliments right now. I'd have to say, you know, you are doing most of the communication. You are reaching out to a lot of people, even though they're also contacting you. You're on the receiving end of communications, but you're probably sending them more than you are receiving them. Okay, on Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 2nd house trines Neptune, transiting in your 10th house of Pisces. Having Mars in your 2nd house of how you earn your money, income, bringing in another source of income, or increasing your paycheck, your rate of pay, or your fee. If you're self-employed, again, even if you don't work at all, there's still some way or other that you are trying to increase your income, or your the things that you own, your possessions. You may want to really, really buy something right now. But because it's a trine to your 10th house of your career, I'd have to say that something's going on within your profession, whatever it is that you do for a living. Even if you don't work, there is still some way that you are bringing in money. You got to live somehow, right? So that is going to increase in some way or other on this day. Okay, here for Cancer. On Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 12th house squares Neptune transiting in your 9th house of Pisces. Not a bad transit at all. It's a square from Venus. Just kind of means that all these planets in your 12th house are kind of preparing you for when the sun is about ready to move into your first house, the sun and other planets. You do actually have Mars in your first house right now, so you are pretty active, but you are also pretty active behind the scenes. This square to your 9th house where Neptune is right now, but also Jupiter's here very briefly, okay, till like the end of July. Just brings maybe more contact with foreigners, someone from another country, someone who lives far away from you, long distance of some kind. You know, it's a very pleasant transit actually, so you could be all dreamy-eyed over someone that you know, again, like I said, that lives at a distance. But it could also be that you are in the mood to travel, and you are visualizing or dreaming of visiting some other place, again, another country, but it could be any place. It could be a dream trip that you've always wanted to do. So something like that could possibly be going on, but to me it just looks like a very dreamy day for you. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 12th house conjuncts Venus in your 12th house of Gemini. 12th house is the house of secrets, confidences, hidden matters, actions by you or someone else behind the scenes. It's also the house of charity. You could actually be involved with someone right now where you are helping them secretly, kind of, or they're helping you. You may even be involved in some kind of romance. We do have to mention that because Venus is involved here. It's a little bit of a secret right now. Maybe you're just friends with this person, but you're getting to know them a lot better, and the relationship is moving along very well, and you don't want to like jinx it or whatever by including it in your conversations with your friends or your family or whatever. You know, for now it's just your business and not anyone else's. You could also, you know, get one of those secret admirer kind of things, you know, like a little note or some way of someone letting you know that they're interested in you. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in your first house in Cancer trines Neptune, transiting in your 9th house of Pisces. Very nice trine to, you know, get, let's say, that trip. 9th house is many things. It's travel, long distance travel. It's adventure, exploration. It's higher learning. It's also legal matters, media, publishing, languages of any kind. You know, you're like really, Jupiter is here briefly, but it's going to be here from the end of December into next year, like fully into Pisces. So this is like a little bit of a inkling as to what to expect. You're making some kind of progress wherever, you know, in one of the things that I mentioned that the 9th house governs. You may even be trying to learn another language right now because you will be visiting that country or whatever. But you could also have written something or created something that needs to be published or needs to be in the media, copyrighted or something, trademarked even. So this might be a time where you are just like protecting your own interests, and you are legalizing anything creative that you've done. For Leo, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 11th house squares Neptune transiting in your 8th house of Pisces. Not a bad thing at all. You may be out with all of your friends for the first time in a very long time. If you're not out, you are still socializing with people in some way or other, more than likely online, but you could also be on the phone an awful lot with people that you haven't talked to in a while. Having all these planets in Gemini in your 11th house of sociability makes you just that. You know, you're in the mood to, I don't know, check up on people, see what they've been up to. If you are, though, socializing in person, you just may spend a little bit too much money. That's all. The square is from Venus in your 11th house that makes you want to have fun, or more fun than you have in a while. Where you have Neptune in your 8th house of other people's money and resources. But it's a money house, though, too. It's your bank accounts. So you just might go overboard in some way or other. You may join some kind of group that somewhere down the line is going to cost you more money than you expected. Or you could even be making plans for future plans with your friends right now, thinking that you will have the money to do these things, but somewhere down the line you might not. That's all. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 11th house conjuncts Venus in Gemini in your 11th house, and this is like a really good transit to meet someone new under. It brings about a very nice first impression from you. And your perception of someone new that you meet is usually pretty good and pretty spot on even. It's like a really pleasant time with your friends, or a pleasant time socializing, at a party possibly, something or other, that everybody that you're around at this time doesn't want to talk about anything very serious or stressful, or they're tired of hearing about the pandemic and all this other crap. It's all pleasant conversations on this day. If you can't encounter someone that wants to have one of those kind of conversations with you, then you will just go find somebody else. You're not in the mood to talk about anything serious on this day. You're in the mood to do something pleasant and fun. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 12th house trines Neptune, transiting in your 8th house of Pisces, where Jupiter is also right now, just till the end of July. Then it'll move into Pisces at the end of December. But briefly, it's here, and a very nice trine from your 12th house of secrets and behind the scenes occurrences and actions by you or someone else. Trine to your 8th house of other people's resources and money, especially with Jupiter here right now, kind of means that maybe someone is helping you financially. They are giving you money or lending you money, but it almost looks like they're giving you something. 8th house is the house of legacies and inheritances, and you have Neptune here, and I've mentioned many times to you to check out your bank accounts and credit card statements, and check for identity theft, and or just to make sure that your bank is accurate, and so are your credit card bills. Having Neptune here just makes money matters kind of foggy, and you could be ripped off kind of easily. Now, having Jupiter here, though, combined with these two, this trine from your 12th house of charitable acts, charity period, things that you do for other people, like in secret. It's like you don't need attention drawn to you because you're doing something nice for someone. And this could be one of those times where you are actually in a position to do something for someone else that is very charitable, but you're also on the receiving end, though, too. So, very nice trine there. For Virgo, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 10th house squares Neptune, transiting in your 7th house of Pisces. Not a bad square at all. You know, having Venus in your 10th house kind of means that you're in the center of attention. 10th house is your most public house in your chart. It's how you're viewed and spoken about publicly. It's your house of career and social status, though, too. Professional, personal, reputation, all of these wonderful things where all these planets in Gemini are right now, and everything is really in your favor. This square to your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships, where Jupiter has briefly moved here till the end of July, it kind of increases, you know, it's a square, but it's from Venus, so it's not really kind of like a big deal. It does mean that you might, if you're in the presence of, let's say, a higher up, or your boss, or a colleague, or someone that you would like to impress, like professionally, you may overdo it a little bit. I want to say maybe, I don't want to say drinking or partying or whatever, but you do have Mars in your 11th house right now of sociability, which makes you really feel like getting out there and doing stuff. So you just might overdo it a little bit, let's say in public maybe. Your partner, if it's romantic, could doesn't really think to, you know, think it's like a bad thing. They may even be with you when you're doing this thing. But professionally, if you are in business with someone, they may think that you're living it up a little bit too much. In public, whatever. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 10th house conjuncts Venus in your 10th house of Gemini. So this is a really nice transit for your reputation, professional or personal. Because even if you don't work, you're still in the public eye in some way or other. And you could get an awful lot of compliments on this day. You could learn that someone said something very nice about you. It could be anyone, you know, but this is like the house of publicity in a way, along with like the 9th house and a couple other houses. But like this is your most public house. So if anyone were ever going to say something about you, this would be the day, and it's something very, very nice. You could even, if you were looking for some kind of new position, completely new job, or a new promotion or some kind within your current job, but this would be the day that you would ask for it, or be on the receiving end of news regarding that position. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 11th house trines Neptune, transiting in your 7th house of Pisces. So having Mars in your 11th house of your friends and acquaintances and any kind of organization that you belong to, a trine to your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships just means that you may have formed some kind of new relationship with somebody. You may have made a new friend that you're becoming very close with. You may be part of a new organization. Maybe that's what's going on with all this stuff in your 10th house of Gemini. Maybe you want to be part of some kind of group. And it looks like this would be one of those days where they would be welcoming you in, or some other kind of little bit of prestige or something going on here with an association that you are forming with someone. Okay, for Libra, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 9th house squares Neptune, transiting in your 6th house of Pisces. All these planets are in Gemini right now. In your 9th house of higher learning and long-distance travel and adventure and publishing, media, legal matters. This square to your 6th house of the workplace, the kind of work that you do, your co-workers, where Jupiter is also transiting very briefly. And the square is from Venus, so it's not really like a big deal. You could be becoming very friendly with someone new to the workplace, new to your area even. Maybe they're just briefly in your workplace. Maybe they're just there to do like some kind of special whatever, and then they're going to leave. But you have a really nice rapport with this person. maybe your co-workers are even a little jealous of that. Maybe you have something in common with this person. Ninth house is foreign anything, foreign people, foreign travel. So you could even have somebody in your workplace from another part of the world, or just at a long distance from you, but they're in from out of town, and they seem to be getting along really well with you. So you may be in charge of actually taking care of them, kind of showing them around town or whatever while they're here. Okay, on Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 9th house conjuncts Venus in Gemini in your 9th house. So this is a very nice communication. Okay, I did mention that this is like long distance communication actually, and this might be a day where you either reach out and touch somebody, you know, or more than one person, but you may decide to call someone who lives at a distance to catch up with them, or to even possibly make plans for the future, travel, or you going to visit them or they going to visit you. But you could also be on the receiving end of some kind of call like this. But it's a very nice, pleasant conversation at this time for whomever you're in contact with. That's what Mercury and Venus do together. They like positive and pleasant conversations, not in the mood to talk about anything too serious. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 10th house trines Neptune, transiting in your 6th house of Pisces. So we're back to your career is your 10th house, and many other things, but because the 6th house of the workplace and the kind of work that you do is involved here, I'd have to say this is work related. So having Mars in your 10th house, though, kind of makes you very aggressive and energetic in going after a position that you want, or some kind of recognition or acknowledgement or an award of some kind even. And this is one of those times where something like that actually works in your favor, because it's a trine. It's a very nice trine from your 10th house to your 6th house of the workplace. So it looks like your co-workers, whether they want to or not, kind of have to give you the respect that you deserve. You've done something or other and are receiving some kind of publicity for it, or at least a pat on the back in some way or other, and you are being acknowledged for work that you've done. So your co-workers don't have much of a choice but to chime in or just shut up. Okay, you know how co-workers are. So for Scorpio, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 8th house squares Neptune, transiting in your 5th house of Pisces. Very nice. It's a nice square, okay? A square from Venus isn't bad at all. It just makes you, in a way, sometimes it's like a transit from Jupiter. It makes you go overboard in some way. You're not in a mood to do anything too serious. You want to have fun. You want to do something lighthearted or whatever. And this is one of those times. The 8th house where you have Gemini is your shared resources, something that you may own with someone else. It's credit cards, bank accounts, but it's also other people's resources. Having all these planets here right now means that, and this square is just a square to your 5th house of romance and creativity and speculation, children, any kind of amusements. Just possibly, you know, someone could be paying your way, let's put it that way, for something fun. You're going to do something fun. It could even be like a little weekend trip or something or other, or some kind of party or get together, but someone seems to be like paying your way. You don't have to really worry about money in regards to whatever you might be doing on that day. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 8th house conjuncts Venus in your 8th house of Gemini. So we're back to, you know, other people's resources and money, and having Venus in your 8th house. First of all, Venus attracts things that you need, and who doesn't need a loan or money or a refund or anything, access to what someone has that you may need to use, even if you just borrow it. But this is kind of like a day where you may be on the receiving end of actually money of some kind that was due you in some way, a refund. This is the house of legal settlements, insurance payouts, tax refunds possibly, increasing credit through your bank or through credit cards or something. But somebody could also just gift you with something, give you something at this time. Doesn't look like it's anything very big, but it's still, Mars was just here, so you may have really looked into something that was due you and you never received it, and so you really took an awful lot of action, put an awful lot of effort into getting something that belonged to you. So this may be actually the day that you finally get it. Okay, on Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 9th house trines Neptune, transiting in your 5th house of Pisces. So your 9th house is long-distance travel and communications, publishing, media, everything. But, because the 5th house is involved here, I would have to say that the 9th house, being a big travel house, is also the house of adventure. Traveling to do something fun or different that you've done before or haven't done in a long time, or could actually be something new. But it looks like you are possibly traveling, but it's to do something fun. It's to attend or go see an amusement park, or a gambling, casino or something like that. Maybe you're going somewhere to, I don't know, just, you could be going with a romantic partner or someone else, but you could even just be going by yourself. But it looks like it's some kind of adventure. For Sagittarius, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 7th house squares Neptune, transiting in your 4th house of Pisces. So you have all these planets in Gemini in your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships. Business, romantic, or just like a friend. This is a very nice square, though. Venus squares and Jupiter squares, they're really not all that bad. It just makes you want to have fun or do something. You avoid unpleasantness. Okay, so this could be one of those times where maybe you would like to have something in your home. Okay, that's where Neptune is, in your 4th house of your home. The people you live with, it's your family, your personal life. So maybe you want to do something like remodel or do something kind of big. Jupiter's here right now just very briefly. So you could be in the mood to do something pretty major to your home or wherever it is that you live. And if that's not the case, maybe you just want to buy something that you need. But it's more than likely for your home. So maybe somebody might be trying to talk you out of it. Maybe it seems like too big of a deal. Maybe it's something that can even wait. So whoever you're close with might just be just kind of telling you to put the brakes on something that you want to do to your home. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 7th house conjuncts Venus in Gemini in your 7th house. So this is a very nice transit for partnerships. Okay, romantic partnerships. This is a time where you have very pleasant conversations with people, period, but especially with a partner. You may have had problems within your relationship, especially something that was revealed around that full moon of the full moon lunar eclipse on the 26th. So this is just like a few days later. So this is a kind of makeup kind of thing, where you get whatever may have occurred in your relationship, whatever you said or they said, or you get that all cleared up right now, and smooth it over. Okay, because as long as Venus is here, you have the opportunity or the power to actually do that. And that kind of looks like what's going on here is you're not in the mood for unpleasantness, period. And on this day, if somebody wants to talk to you about something pretty serious like your relationship, you'll more than likely just blow them off or change the subject or actually discuss, if you feel that's necessary. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 8th house trines Neptune transiting in your 4th house of Pisces. So having Mars in your 8th house of other people's resources and money. It's a money house. It's trying to possibly get a loan or an increase in credit, or have access to something that you possibly need. But it's to help do something, again, in your home. Maybe you need to remodel, or you need to fix something that's broken there. Okay, so you need money to do that. So maybe you're even able to apply for a credit card that gives you the credit to buy something that is necessary for your home. Or someone that you know may give you or lend you something, but it looks like they may actually just give you something that you need for your home. Okay. So for Capricorn, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 6th house squares Neptune transiting in your 3rd house of Pisces. So you have all these planets in Gemini in your 6th house of the kind of work that you do, and the workplace and your co-workers, and square to your 3rd house of like your neighborhood, your everyday life, your area, your immediate area, cousins, relatives, whatever. It just, maybe you are experiencing something at work, like with a coworker, or the work itself that is kind of infringing on your everyday life, more or less. Both of these are everyday life schedules, okay, 3rd and 6th. So there could be somebody, possibly, I guess, a higher up or supervisor, somebody like that. Or if you are self-employed, a client that's a little bit overbearing, that wants you to kind of stop whatever it is that you're doing to do something for them. Or again, the 6th house is also the house of service, so somebody may be wanting you to do some kind of running around or favor for them, even if it's kind of just shopping, and they're like overreaching in some way or other. They're trying to get you to do something that's really not your place to do. Okay, they could always ask someone else, but they're trying to hit you up for a favor. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 6th house conjuncts Venus in your 6th house of Gemini. So we're back to the workplace here. This is a very pleasant time with co-workers. You may actually all be celebrating something that's going on there, some kind of party or whatever. Having Venus in the 6th house as far as work goes does beautify whatever it is that you do, whatever kind of work you do, no matter how boring or whatever it may be. There's still something that you are doing to the workplace or your actual work that is making it fun or more pleasant. Usually Mercury and Venus together denote pleasant conversations, and then avoiding anything unpleasant or serious. So this could be something like that going on. On this day, it could be, again, at work, but it could also be with whomever it is that is trying to get you to do something for them, a favor. They are buttering you up. Okay, on Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 7th house trines Neptune transiting in your 3rd house of Pisces. So, Mars is directly across from your Sun in Capricorn, or rising sign, whatever planets you may have in Capricorn. And when it's in your 7th house of close relationships, partnerships, it kind of means that, people come out of the woodwork to push your buttons and stuff. Okay, 7th house is also the house of open enemies. And there could be somebody just around, even if they're a competitor as far as business goes, or in romance, they could be competition even. But this trine, though, to your 3rd house, where you have Pisces, and Jupiter is also here right now very briefly, does mean that something is going in your favor at this time as far as partnerships go or close relationships go. You could even find out, let's say, 3rd house is a big communication house. You could have some kind of conversation with a partner or close friend right now, or business partner, that makes you feel a little bit more secure about your relationship, but an arrangement, even if you have some kind of an arrangement with them, as far as even a contract or something like that goes. But it does make you feel a little bit more stable. For, let's see here, Aquarius, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your, let's see, for our 5th house. Okay, squares Neptune transiting in your 2nd house of Pisces. So this is not a bad square at all. It's from Venus. It's in your 5th house of fun and entertainment, romance, creativity, speculation. Makes you want to have fun. Okay, other Gemini planets are here right now, so it's just adding to all of that. Okay, the square to Neptune in your 2nd house of your income, how you earn your money, and having Jupiter here right now, very briefly, does increase or expand some way or other to bring in another source of income. You may really want to speculate on this day, gamble, take a risk. Or you could just spend money that you assume you have coming in. Maybe you don't actually have, it's something that may be down the line and you're really counting on that, which is something you probably shouldn't do. But it's not like this is a huge aspect. It's not really going to make you go overboard too much. It's just that you may spend money that you don't really have. There's ways of doing that, okay, even if it's just running up a credit card bill. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 5th house conjuncts Venus, also in Gemini in your 5th house. And this is like the best time to have a romantic conversation with someone, because this is the house of romance. And in fact, this could be a time when you reveal your feelings for someone, or vice versa. They reveal their feelings for you. The 5th house is also the house of creativity. So if you are working on something, even in a collaboration, or even just like on your own, you could have some kind of breakthrough or whatever that puts the finishing touches on your project, that makes it all work. And this is also the house of, fun. You could take up some kind of sport or game or something. Could be something from your past, but that you're deciding to do again. But if it's something physical, you have Mars in your 6th house of health right now. I'll get to that one in a minute. So you are feeling very energetic. So you could take, decide to, even if it's just riding a bike or jogging or walking or something like that. The dancing's kind of big for the 5th house here. So you might just want to move around a little bit, and this could be one of those days where you start some kind of exercise program, but it's something fun. It's not, it doesn't seem like a chore or whatever for you to do. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 6th house trines Neptune transiting in your 2nd house of Pisces. So again, back to having Mars in your 6th house. If you are doing something physical for your health, exercising or something like that, it's actually could literally be paying off. The trine to your 2nd house of income means that anything that you do right now, as far as the kind of work that you do, you're having an increase in clients or an increase in your workload or something or other that's bringing you in more money. If you are in a health related field, it would really kind of increase right now at this time. But whatever it is that you do for money, it just seems like a okay, Jupiter is here also in your 2nd house, very briefly. So it's something that could happen just this one time and then it's gone. Jupiter is only here till the end of July, but it will move back here at the end of December. But for now, it's something very brief, but you could have the opportunity to do something work-related that brings in more income. But right now, it looks like a one-time thing, but somewhere in the future, It could be a steady job or whatever. Okay, for Pisces, on Thursday, May 27th, Venus in Gemini in your 4th house squares Neptune transiting in your 1st house of Pisces. So all these planets are in your 4th house of your home, where Gemini is. A lot of planets in Gemini right now. So this is your personal life, your family life, but it's your actual home. And having Venus here makes you want to beautify your surroundings, wherever it is that you live. It's a nice time to have possibly some kind of party. Maybe you're having a gathering or planning on having some kind of gathering there right now. Square to your 1st house Neptune, not a big deal at all. It just makes you kind of go overboard a little bit in some way or other in regards to your home, or just wanting to have something at your home that's maybe specifically for you and not necessarily for everyone that you live with or family, or even if you don't live with anyone. It's just something nice that you would like for yourself. It's not like a very big deal at all. Not a bad idea. On Saturday, May 29th, Mercury in Gemini in your 4th house conjuncts Venus, also in your 4th house of Gemini. So this is one of those times where you could make a really nice purchase for your home. Or if you are romantically involved with anyone right now, your romance would be taking place in a home setting, like dinner at their place or at your place, or just over to watch a movie or something or other. But you're spending time within your own home or someone else's. And Mercury and Venus together bring about pleasant conversations. It's a time when most people avoid anything serious, or they're just not in the mood to discuss anything that is unpleasant. So this could be one of those times where you just might have people over your place and you just, I don't know, sit around and play cards and drink or do something or other. But it's kind of like a really pleasant time for everyone, not just you. On Monday, May 31st, Mars in Cancer in your 5th house trines Neptune in your 1st house of Pisces. So your 5th house is the house of speculation and gambling, children, fun, amusements of any kind. It's sports and games, it's romance, creativity, all kinds of stuff. Very nice trine, though, to your 1st house, more or less. Having Neptune here, it does bring about maybe the desire to speculate a little bit on yourself, though. You may be in a very creative mood when Mars is here. Wherever Mars is transiting, it gives you an awful lot of energy and interest to go after whatever that house governs. So there's so many things here that you have to choose from. But I think one of them is possibly something creative. Maybe you have had it in your mind, never sat down to do it. Maybe this is the time that you actually do something like that. And as far as speculation goes, you could actually do something, even if it is just playing the lottery or gambling at a casino or something like that. On this day, you could actually do pretty well. You could even surprise yourself, because you may be one of those people that feel that you don't ever win anything. Everybody else does. But on this day, I believe that you're the one who's the winner. So I hope everyone enjoyed their astrological forecast for this week. Be sure to check out my monthly forecast, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, I will see you next week. Goodbye.